Welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck. I am Mary, and my partners in crime today are Miss Lori and Miss April. We have a great show planned for you today. I met a gal in Washington, D.C. We were at the Women's Warriors conference for CPAC, and we were talking about education and school choice and whatnot, and she said, hold the phone, slow down a little bit because there's repercussions of school choice, and she's going to talk about that. But then later in the show, we're going to visit a little bit about what Fauci was up to this past week. It's absolutely insane.
So crazy.
I can't even keep up.
I know. Every day it's different. And then, of course, we always leave you with our lighter side. But even before we get there, you guys, you're not going to believe it, but I finally ordered some of that Masculine Man deodorant. You guys, it's made
good.
for a man, but it is gentle enough for a woman. So, anyway, what's the easiest way to smell better? You could buy a $150 bottle of cologne, or you can upgrade the deodorant you use every day. That's exactly why my husband and now I have switched to Masculine Man. Every scent smells like a premium men's favorite. I mean, seriously, guys, smell this.
So good.
And it's not strong. It's just amazing.
That's
Go
perfect.
ahead. But unlike a cologne, it works all day at fighting odor. It has natural ingredients, no aluminum, no parabens. It's made in America, of course. And if you want one of the easiest upgrades you can make to your daily routine, go to masculinemanessentials.com. And then we have a code for them. It's LOAV10. So LOAV10 to get 10% off your order. So that's masculinemanessentials.com and use our code LOAV10. Love 10. Ladies of Another View 10. You'll thank me later, and so will the rest of your family. And it's sweet corn season too, so it's like, oh, I got all kinds of sweaty people, working at my
So
corn
you'll
truck,
have that to hand out.
You guys,
really
it's really
smells
good.
amazing.
It smells good.
It does. It's really
Yes.
good. I can't say enough about it. It's really cool. But and I guess they're working on a ladies version, but I don't even think they need to. Once you get that aluminum out of any deodorant, because I do use a men's, I can't remember which one, but I digress. Let's go ahead. Let's visit with Olivia. Olivia Barnard. She is from Texas. Welcome to the show, Olivia.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. So just give us a little bit about Olivia Barnard. I know we met at CPAC, and we're going to talk about school choice, but what is your background?
So I am just a mom in Texas. I grew up in Oklahoma. I've been in Texas my entire adult life. I've got one son. He's 12 years old. And I kind of say that I was part of that 2020 big wake up. The world changed a lot, and that put public education, personal healthcare choices. It put a lot of things on the radar. And I would say I got activated around that time. But single mom, 12-year-old boy, Central Texas. I do real estate for a living, and I am a public servant. I'm currently serving my second term as a school board trustee, and I also am a commissioner on my local Parks and Rec.
Oh, that's cool. And so it's the Dripping Springs Independent School District. So when I looked it up, I can't even say it, Dripping Springs, that's the name of your town?
It is, and we are immediately adjacent to Austin, and I'm sure you're familiar.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Austin.
So
We are
weird.
immediately adjacent. So my home address is actually an Austin address. If you were driving down the road, you wouldn't know any different. But yeah,
Okay.
Central Texas, south side of Austin.
Perfect. Well, so just to get back on topic here, we met in Washington, D.C. at a CPAC event for women warriors, and it was incredible to have all these strong women together under one roof. But you and I started a conversation about school choice, and I was so excited that, yes, we're going to go for school choice up here in North Dakota, and you told me to slow down a little bit. Why don't you tell our viewers what some of the repercussions of school choice are?
Okay, I'll start kind of high level. So I think that any of us would agree, particularly of shared conservative values, that what we believe school choice to be aligns with our values perfectly. What I would caution is the legislation. Does the legislation align? So you have to be really diligent in reading that legislation, talking to your legislatures, and just make sure it makes sense. So I can only speak, of course, to the state of Texas. Everything that was happening in the world in like 2020 and 2021, we all became like, we had this heightened awareness of what was going on, and public education was the center of that. In Texas, our 88th legislature, which was in 2023, we won big. It was like the parental rights tidal wave when it comes to transparency, parents being able to opt in instead of opt out. It was a big win because of things that were happening nationally, impacting Texas. We took a stand and we had an incredible session as it relates to parental rights and public education. Well, then the next big go round, and please tell me if I'm following the track that you want me to here. But the next big thing was school choice and the way that it was packaged. And this is where I share caution with friends in other states. The way that it was packaged was this is about parental rights and this is about keeping more of your tax dollars. If there's two things that we care about as conservatives, it's parental rights and where our tax dollars go. Fundamentally, we want smaller government and lower taxes. So the bill sounded so good. It was packaged with a big red bow. It was literally called the Parental Rights Movement. Well, I read legislation and it was red flags, red flags, red flags. Can I digress a little bit into what that looked like?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay. So here's what worried me immediately. In the state of Texas, prior to school choice, I saw for myself one of the private academies right here in my neighborhood never closed for COVID and never did masks. They're a private school. When all of these things started happening in March of 2020, they got together with their board and their parents and they said, we're not participating. And they didn't, and they made it through just fine. And I remember watching that in awe as my son was at home, not in school, trying to learn from Zoom, and then getting back on a school bus with a mask at 6 years old, right? Very infuriating. So when the bill came around, my immediate reaction was, wait a second, we're going to create a new government program that is going to increase our tax base. So for example, I'm not sharing this because it's Texas. I'm sharing it to say what questions to ask maybe in North Dakota. I knew that in the state of Texas, we have about 5 million students in public education. And I had to write this number down, but we have about 350,000 students in private school, and we have about 600,000 students in homeschool. So my immediate thought was, we're going to increase our taxation to cover over 1 million new students that we're currently not paying for property taxes. And what is the connection? Because once you start taking those government vouchers, what of my child's educational data are you now going to want in exchange for that? And as I read the bill, it became very clear that there were no limitations. It gave total and complete long-term management to our comptroller's office. There was no limitation on the budget. The way that they rolled it out the first year sounded nice. It's like, oh, this is just for special education, or this is just for families below a certain threshold income. But the gate after that was open. I predicted that our first year budget would approach $1 billion. Do you know what it came in at?
Do tell.
990 million.
Holy
Ooh.
buckets.
Yeah. And I said to my friends and my colleagues and my local GOP, I said, this is going to be a $5 billion line item within 5 years. They thought I was crazy. I just looked at an official document from our state legislature's educational committee, and guess what the budget is by 2030?
Do tell.
$4 billion.
Jeez.
Wow.
And it is in perpetuity. So what that means is it goes on forever and ever and ever. So it is now a new tax line item. If your taxpayers right now are frustrated with the cost of property taxes because they're funding public education, increase that number drastically, because you got a whole new governmental program. So that was my initial basis, was that there seemed to be a lack of alignment between conservative values and the actual legislation.
Sure.
Because what we had prior to school choice was literally the government stays out of it.
Right.
So that was the first. And then if I can, are you okay if I expand?
Why don't we take a quick break here?
Yeah,
and we'll come back. We'll take a quick commercial break and then come back and tell us what the next issue was. Don't go
Okay,
away.
thanks.
We'll be right
Thank you.
back after this.
We're not some big city operation with a call center that doesn't even know where North Dakota is. We're Beck, built and rooted in rural North Dakota. We're your neighbors, your cooperative, working together for more than 70 years to keep you connected to what matters most in your life. Our Beck Fiber is more than just internet service. It's what you rely on every day. And if you ever have a question, we're just down the road, ready to help. Beck Communications, committed to you because we're local too.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Yeah, U.S. Cattlemen is a member organization that each member has a vote in anything we do with policy. We're representing the independent cattleman or the cow-calf guy or an independent feeder or whatever. We like to support the independent producer. Talking about mandatory ID, we're talking about cool, we're talking about all the legislation that's going to be coming down with the new administration. There's going to be lots of moving and shaking, so always check us out at our website, uscattleman.org.
Come on in and experience small-town hospitality and the personalized care that makes car buying a pleasure.
We know that every journey starts with the right car. Whether it's school drop-off, weekend road trips, or your daily commute, we have the right vehicle for you and your family.
With trusted brands, affordable prices, and a team that treats you like family, finding your next car has never been so easy.
We pride ourselves on personal attention and quality service. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
When I first decided to invest in gold, I was a bit nervous and unsure how to start. Luckily, I found Noble Gold Investments. From the very first call, they made investing easy. No pushy sales tactics, no gimmicks, and no confusing free silver offers with hidden fees. Just honest advice tailored to my needs, giving me confidence every step of the way. If you're new to gold investing or want a partner you can trust, visit noblegoldinvestments.com.
Welcome to where classy meets Wild West. Buffalo Gypsy Boutique of Bismarck has clothing, decor, and gifts ranging from sophisticated boho style to fun and flashy. Our exclusive brands such as Scully, Double D Ranch, and Tanner Mark provide standout style for the whole family, right down to the little ones. We always have a great selection of Kimes denim, and we proudly offer American-made jewelry and artwork. Find Buffalo Gypsy classing up North Bismarck just off Highway 83.
Welcome back, the ladies of Another View on Beck. We've been visiting with Olivia Barnard, and she is from Texas, and they have just gone through this school choice. And her biggest warning is, if we're going to do it, make sure you have good legislation and transparency as to what it works. Olivia, welcome back to the show.
Hi.
All right, so before the break, you were talking about the expenses, and you had number one, and you were going to start with number two, so go right ahead.
Yeah. So number two, again, I'm just giving the correlation to Texas. We had been on such a power movement for parental rights, and we were winning so much wonderful legislation. And one of the things that parents were so concerned about was ideologies and politics coming into the public education sector. And what I warned about with school choice is you have to understand it's still going to operate under the United States Constitution. At a state level, you're not going to be able to pick and choose what types of private schools you're now going to be funding. So I would tell my friends, take the three worst ideologies that you have the most fear about implementing or infiltrating public education, whether it's sexuality, lifestyle, whatever it is that you don't want adults talking to your kids about. Right now, one big thing in Texas is the Islamification of Texas, if you will. So imagine for a second, right now, you fought so hard to keep ideologies out of school, public schools, but did you know that now you're going to be funding them? Because constitutionally, your state will not be able to say, oh, we don't like that private school. We don't like that private school. So all of those things that you maybe fear the most, maybe it's just a campus that's 100% AI and you fundamentally don't agree with that. Maybe it is a extreme religious or political standpoint that you don't align with, or nonetheless, you just don't want your taxpayer dollars paying for. They will be. So not only did you just increase how much you're paying, but you will now absolutely factually potentially be funding the exact ideology that you are probably fighting against. You'll be paying for it. And I think that that's something we've got to be really concerned about. There's multiple lawsuits in the state of Texas right now, and I'm just going to use Islam as the example because this is what's happening. I believe 5 schools have now sued the state of Texas because they felt that they were being discriminated. And what came out of that is the state cannot discriminate. So you want to open a Christian school? Okay, fine. You're going to be funding it. Do you want to open an Islam school? Okay, fine. You're going to be funding it, but they will be equal in the eyes of the state based on the U.S. Constitution. So make sure that your legislatures, if you go down this path, know that they cannot limit it. So you might be fighting for school choice because you want to best represent your values, but you are opening the door to be funding everybody else's as well. And it can be next door to you. It can be in the shopping center where you go go for a quick bite. And these private organizations now think about it, we're giving private organizations access to tax dollars. Is that not what we are fundamentally against? This is nothing more than NGOs. This is literally what we see happening in Minnesota. It will come to every single state because you are putting tax dollars available to private entities with very little oversight and literally zero constitutional restraints.
Okay, No, I was going to say, speaking of Minnesota, I want to show our viewers this clip here really quick. Do we have that? And that's Minnesota, and the girls are required to wear the hijabs or the burqas or whatever it's called. And so I can't, I'm so glad that we met because I was all for school choice, and you have really opened my eyes into what could happen.
But I want you to really talk about, because what's happening right now, you're seeing the vacant malls being, who's buying those up and what kind of schools are going into these?
So in my area in Austin, this is not happening a lot yet. It's happening in North Dallas and Frisco and other cities. So what we're hearing is that, shopping centers are going vacant all across the state and the country because that type of retail doesn't work anymore. So what we're seeing is a lot of churches, a lot of medical facilities buying this type of real estate up. So what's happening is that to get school funding, there obviously has to be real estate, right? You have to have brick and mortar, hypothetically. I guess you could be remote, but if a school opens, so if you have a private entity and they rent or buy real estate, let's just say in a shopping center, and they file for these funds and approval to get these government funds and they open a school, they get to do that. They literally just go register. They say, yes, we want the vouchers. And then every student that comes in, they can get up to that. In Texas, it's $8,000 per student. So what they can do once they have that school filed is that school can actually operate in a larger facility like a mosque. So if an entity comes in, they rent or buy a piece of real estate, they file for the school is at that address. They don't have to use the entire square footage as a school. So what you could end up doing is they buy 100,000 square feet of retail space. They do 2 classrooms as a school, and the rest of it can become for alternate use, like example, a mosque.
Oh. So, aren't there any regulations on that?
Constitutionally, there's going to be very limited. So in the state of Texas, they rolled it out for the first year of identifying factors of a student like special education, below a certain threshold income for the family. And this is what I said stood out to me so much. I saw in the bill the language that literally gave the comptroller unlimited ability to change into the future. And that's what we're already seeing. If I have a neighbor that makes $1 million a year and their kids have already been going to private school, they're now going to get that $8,000 voucher per student. Just like a single mom who's making $25,000 a year, who's maybe never paid property taxes in her life, she's going to get that same thing. So the restrictions, this is again, politicians are going to tell you what's important to them and what their platform is and what our party platform is. But it's not going to supersede the Constitution. So the Constitution leaves very little state control over where this money will go. It's going to be collected by the taxpayer, and then it's going to be virtually have no oversight. Now, to go further, another reason I was opposed to this is because I wanted no government oversight in my homeschool or in my private school. What they can start collecting is educational data. They can say, well, tell me how many days a year you educated your child at home. What kind of curriculum are you using? So it is a double-edged sword, and there is a pendulum of like worst case scenario. So there could be government oversight and overreach into your private education and at home, but there can also be a major lack of control over what private entities will get that funding because of constitutional protections.
Sure. Well, so, and you just look at Minneapolis, and it's not just Minneapolis, but they're kind of on the map now because of all of the daycares and the adult daycares and whatnot. And then you look at the 80% of the Somalians up in the Minneapolis area are on welfare. And so 80% of them, even if they used it with based on income, we would still be footing the bill for that. And so that's where we have to be so very careful.
In my opinion, and I want to say in that video, what I see is a whole bunch of cute, precious kids.
I know.
It worries me, you know, like you're talking about. I'm so worried about a lot of things, particularly with this issue. But to your point, our legislatures have to look at school choice like it is literally, and I'm sorry to compare it to this, it is no different than how welfare had such a good intention but ended up creating government dependence and a massive amount of fraud. It is the same. In my opinion, any state is better off not going this route, looking at protecting private and homeschool, improving public education, because it's just bigger taxes and bigger government. It really is. And I'm not, that's the thing, I'm not against school choice at all. I am so for it. But I haven't seen a state, I've followed Florida and Arizona legislation on it. And I see the exact same thing. I don't know the best way to legislate it better because again, whatever our intentions are not necessarily how the legal path will work for legislation.
Sure. Okay. All right. So let's take another quick break, and then when we come back, we'll have one more segment with you, and we can go in a little more in depth. So don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Stop out to our facility, Highway 22 South. Let us build a truck for you.
When there's a storm on the horizon, you typically don't get a lot of advance notice. So you brace yourself as best you can and rebuild when it's over. Times like these are what insurance is for, the protection of our livelihoods, our families, our homes, and our lives. We support our community coming together in times of need. As an independent insurance agency, we tailor our services to your needs. At Dakota Community Insurance, we can help you weather the storm. Talk to one of our agents today.
There's never been a better time to rediscover the style, reliability, and all-season, all-terrain fun of the all-new Nissan lineup at the new and improved Ryan Nissan. Whether it's the sleek and stylish Murano, the adventure-ready Pathfinder, or the reimagined, ready-for-anything 2026 Rogue, the all-new Ryan Nissan has the vehicle of your dreams at a price perfect for any budget. It's time to rediscover your passion for the road. It's time to rediscover the all-new Ryan Nissan, engineered to endure.
Let's be frank, it's a pain to be without your vehicle after an accident. That's why you should take it to Jerome's Collision Center. Our shop is supersized, and we have the qualified staff to fill it up and work on your vehicle, step by step, piece by piece, in crazy fast time without sacrificing quality. When you need us, we'll turn your bad experience into a good one. We're Jerome's Collision Center, and we're the best at what we do.
Hey, I'm Corey Heppola, and I grew up in a small town.
This road used to be gravel.
But a long time ago, I left to live in a big city. Now, I wonder...
Just because we're small doesn't mean we can't have nice things.
What would it be like to move back?
Man, it's mad love up in here.
So, I'm traveling to different small towns across the Midwest to find out. Because what do I really know about rural living? Oh. The people.
If there is anything that you can say about this town, it's that we take care of each other.
The innovation.
So none of this equipment even existed.
And the opportunities.
It's like every year in the spring, there's always like a revitalization of just excitement.
This is my town.
Oh! Oh, jeez! You're close.
7 episodes. Sunday night, 6:30 on Beck TV.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We've been visiting with Olivia Barnard, and she is a wealth of information when it comes to school choice. And it's actually changed my thinking as far as we just have to have better legislation.
Yes.
Welcome back to the show, Olivia.
Oh, thank you.
But before we go into some details, I just wanted to show what your school looks like. We have I stole a clip off of your Facebook page. So that's a very fun looking school. I mean, and very diverse too. You have every ethnicity in your school.
Yes.
And you had even mentioned during the break that you had the open borders, so you do have a variety of issues down there, but it looks like a beautiful school.
We have the best. We are an area that is 198 square miles. So we have rural families, we have second and third generation families, and then we're also very affluent. We have a lot of families that have moved here in the last 15 years. And I will tell you, my district, I will stand on this 10 toes firm. We are the standard in public education. We are excelling academically, college, career, military readiness. If I can just brag on one thing really quick, we had about 600 students graduate high school last year. Of those 600 plus, we gave out about 231 job ready certificates, welding, real estate license, health science, vet sciences, automotive. These are young students that are graduating high school with zero debt, fully certified to go out and be employable the day after high school graduation. We're not focused only on 4-year. We're not focused only on football. We are so well-rounded, and we're doing it, by the way, under the normal constraints of budgetary, and we're thriving.
Wonderful. So let's talk about some of the legislation that you recommend.
Okay. I think the most important thing, I want to defend some of my Republican colleagues here. In my opinion, the majority of my legislators did not even really understand the fundamentals of the law writing, which is not good, of school choice, because I really think that they just believed this was about parental rights. So the number one thing when you're talking to your legislators is, what is the goal of school choice? Is it lower taxes? What is the goal? And make sure that they can articulate that for you, and make sure that they can articulate the goal to how they're going to write the legislation. It's incredibly important. One thing that I would ask very specifically is, how many students are currently in public education in North Dakota? How many are in private? How many do you believe are in homeschool? And the reason that's important, asking your legislature, are we now going to be funding not only the $5 million in public education, but are we adding potential funding of up to 1 million new students? Those are my numbers, for example. But your taxpayers need to know the answer to that. And if they say, oh, well, we have it, we have the surplus. No, sir. No, ma'am. Because anything that you add is going to be a new tax item. The next thing I would ask is the perpetuity of the plan. Who controls the shoestrings going forward? So in the state of Texas, it's going to be the comptroller. So in the legislation, is it written that this is going to go back to the voters every 2 years? What are the controls? Because you want to make sure if it's going to meet conservative values, this is not something that has an unlimited expenditure. In the state of Texas, it is unlimited. Cool. Then you want to ask the hard questions. Say constitutionally, is this going to allow our private property tax dollar funds to go forward? And then fill in the blank. Any type of ideology, school, radical this, radical that, ask and hold them accountable to knowing the answers to that question and having ways to mitigate those things.
So now, as you guys sit now, can anything be done to change it? I mean, because now you're seeing $1 billion. I mean, it's unlimited, as you said, but now but it's going to affect people's property taxes. What are your citizens going to do? They're going to have to sell their houses. What are they going to do?
All I can do is give you like a great scenario that's not going to happen. Everyone that I've had the opportunity to sit down with that thought they were so pro school choice completely starts thinking about it another way. So, I mean, our taxpayers could ultimately kind of like revolt, but I don't know why. I'm probably getting myself blacklisted right now. I don't know why the push was so big, because these are not conclusions that are hard to come by if you just look at the information. So
I didn't even think of it though, Olivia. To be fair to the general public, I never thought of it that way. No. Ever. I mean, I just thought, oh, this is great. So go ahead.
It might just be, maybe it's just how my brain works, but Abbott was just so hard for it. And it became such a trending topic, school choice. Ask the people facilitating it and writing the laws, what does that mean? How do we not have school choice right now? Right now, can I send, maybe I can't afford it, but at least do I have the option to go to private? Do I have the option to do homeschool? And you by asking these questions, you kind of start to understand it is not necessary. And like I said, I don't want to regurgitate the same thing, but it's just bigger government, more taxes. But you can help your legislators tremendously by asking these questions. It may not be anything they've even thought about, because I'm telling you, if it's coming from the top, like it was here, Abbott was pushing it so hard. So when he was endorsing state legislatures, this was important that they were on the school choice bandwagon. I think a lot of people have woken up, if you will. In fact, there was a big MAGA mom movement here. I didn't know these ladies. We ended up getting connected because I was posting against this legislation. There was a big MAGA mom movement against school choice here in my area because they were concerned about government overreach, which it is. So I just think the more people know. So exactly like what you did, we met, we had a conversation, it opens our minds, it creates dialogue. And then the next step is talking to our audience, our friends, our neighbors, and our legislatures. I don't think in Texas it can be reversed. I don't think there's too many people, I'm guessing, with big pockets and a lot of power.
So what about the government oversight? So let's say, people are buying malls and people are abusing the program. There should be some sort of government oversight for that, but then that also puts government oversight in for our homeschooling and our other. But I mean, do you feel like there should be some set of standards and accountability there?
So this is a slippery slope, because if there is, haven't you just invited the government into your homeschool, right? Because if taxpayers are paying it and they're going to get that $8,000 voucher, again, fundamentally, this is why it's not a conservative law at all, because I don't want my government going into my friends' homes who are doing homeschool the way they want to do it. But at the same time, I want my tax dollars, I want there to be oversight, and I want you to have to qualify for it. This is, again, I'm so sorry just to say it, this is why it's so bad, because you can't have both. You can't take from taxpayers, put it into a program, and then struggle over whether or not it is oversight or overreach. Which is it? It can't be both.
All right, so we only have about a minute left with you. What would you like to leave our viewers with?
Have an open mind, hold politicians accountable. Sometimes things with really good intentions end up like Minnesota.
Right.
Ouch.
And when you think about some of those, when they have like 4 different wives and all these kids are all on welfare already. And so this is something we really, really need to pay attention to.
Wow.
All right, Olivia, I want to thank you for joining us today. I really
Yes.
appreciate
You're
you
so
spending
welcome.
time with us. And this information is absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait to share even more of it. And we hope to have you back again to talk about it when we get closer to our legislative session.
I love that. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. And we're
Bye.
going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what Fauci was up to this week. Don't go away.
You know the rule. No phones at the dinner table.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just Noble Gold Investments. I bought some gold for the kids.
Finally.
Well, the gold you bought me gives me so much security in this economic disaster we're having. I want that for them too.
Well, I've been investing with Noble Gold Investments for years, and I'm pretty sure they can wait until after lunch.
Invest in something you can hold. Invest in Noble Gold. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to learn more.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Find relief for what ails you at Steep Me Tea Apothecary. Teas, supplements, tinctures, and more. Formulated to fight whatever has you down. We're Bismarck Mandan's favorite place to find delicious, natural, and easy ways to alleviate symptoms brought on by anything from colds to cancer. Brew a better you at Steep Me Tea Apothecary. Steep Me products may cause side effects, including but not limited to improved mood, deeper sleep, enhanced hydration, renewed sense of smell, increased energy levels, superior balance, boosted immunity, proper digestion, restored sense of calm, and a delightful smelling home.
Welcome to Radiant Retreat Tanning and Spa in Mandan, where a relaxing spa experience meets the latest in healing innovations. Take total control of your massage in our Hydro Massage Bed. Experience whole body healing in our Zero Body Cryo Bed. Let our salt sauna and halo generator restore your respiratory and skin health. And of course, tailored tanning will keep you looking as good as you feel. Discover your best self at Radiant Retreat, 1307 1st Street Northeast, Mandan.
We're from North Dakota, where 12,000 workers bring electricity to 2 million customers and provide over $5 billion in economic activity to the state, while reclaiming 22,000 acres of land. This is coal country.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Back. Olivia was just amazing
Oh
to
gosh, that
offer
was
that information.
so eye-opening, right?
And hopefully we can use her as a resource
Yes.
once our legislation kicks in. In this segment, we're going to see a little bit about, or these are some clips, some of the questions that were asked Fauci this past week. Take a look and we'll talk on the flip side.
Those policies were put in place because you had moronic politicians that listened to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people, and that is you. Your advice to communities like that, to idiotic politicians who enforce those rules, arrested that mom for watching a football game with her own family outside. When that story broke, I said to myself, I cannot stand idly on the side and watch this happen. It was about 6 years ago today that I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the f do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being a celebrity than saving American people. I will make it my mission to make certain that every single one of those Democrats who did that will see that clip over and over and over again. Because there is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed through your actions? Will you say, do you have the dignity to just say you're sorry?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Well, nothing says honesty like taking the Fifth, huh, Doc? Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs, they know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally, cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Absolutely insane. Just insanity at its best.
Well, part of that, they were looking at his journals. I don't know how they got a hold of his journals, but anyways, he was loving the limelight. And, you know, they were showing him, you know, on different magazine covers and stuff, and he was just, and he loved the celebrity, the notoriety about it. And he was making millions.
Millions.
So
I don't even know what to think about it. I'm appalled by all of it, to be honest. Like, I kept trying to rewatch stuff. And then I actually went on I like to play devil's advocate, right? So I want to see what the other side is saying, because I think that's always fair, right? And they were saying, oh, he's an American hero, that he went on there, and the reason why he pled the fifth was so now we didn't go after him with perjury charges, you know, and things. And it's like,
but wait, that would mean he lied.
Right. Right? So I'm just dumbfounded by all of it, because it was a trap from the beginning. And I just really, there will be no justice for anybody, for the loved ones that were lost, for the mental health that's been affected for our kids, for everyone. And I just hope that we can put in some kind of preventative methods, learn from the past, so we don't have to go through this again the next time there's a pandemic, which I feel like they've tried now 5 or 6 times and it just went away. What happened to monkeypox? What happened to ticks? What's the last time you saw the ticks again? Right? Like, they just keep trying with new things. Now, I mean, we always knew Taco Bell gave you diarrhea, but now, you know, now chocolate's safer than berries and lettuce, right? So it's, where does it stop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and it's all about controlling the people as well. It's it was like a trial to see how well people would follow, and it seems like half of them did. And a lot of people say, well, you know, it's all his fault. And yes, it is. It started there. But it's also about half of the doctors' faults, too.
Oh, gosh.
For those that did not do their own research and go ahead and say, wait a minute, this doesn't smell right. This doesn't look right. You're at fault, too. And for the doctors that were fired, had to leave their practice, my good friend, Dr. Brooke Miller, they went out and started their own clinic. And the people that didn't want to mask up, they followed them. They gave them the ivermectin and the hydrochloroquine, and they gave them all of that preventative stuff. Told them to use zinc, you know, all of the good things. And so the doctors that did not stand up, because you all took an oath to do no harm, and you killed people. You killed people. Remdesivir. They call it when death is near. Remdesivir, and it's crazy. So anyway,
they still give that to this day, mind you.
I know.
But I remember I was made fun of in where I was working as a nurse, because I was one of 3 that did not get it. One because she was leaving, the other one
the jab did not get the jab.
No, yeah. And so I was getting made fun of. Because
and you also, I remember this, you also had, when you would leave the building, you would have like cramps, almost like you were getting your period. They were horrible.
When I was around the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
the shedding. Proteins. Yeah, the shedding of the protein. I called my brother and I was like, what is this? He goes, oh, I've been hearing about this. I think it's that shedding of that mRNA. He goes, I think that's what it is. And I was like, so I tried to avoid being in contact with it. I wouldn't give the shot anymore and stuff like that to other people, just because,
Well, the fear was real that they put into people.
Absolutely.
I mean, my husband had cancer. I have autoimmune disease. I mean, it was real, right? Like the fear that they placed in us. We didn't know what to do. But then when I'm sitting there watching TV like a football score at night, I'm like, something about this isn't right.
Right.
Right? Like, what is happening here?
Or like an election.
Yeah. But it's just, you know, I just really hope we learn, so we can just try to prevent it in the future.
Well, I'll tell you, I was scared for one day. And then you know what I did? I prayed about it. I was like, if I'm supposed to be scared, or if I should, you know, then that I will do that. But if I'm not, you know, if I'm not supposed to be scared and this is all made up, guess what? I wasn't scared.
And that's what they say, faith over fear. Faith
over
fear.
And
get you through
in
that.
Europe, when I was over there and I got bronchitis, you know, they prescribed me vitamin D. They prescribed me zinc.
Yeah.
They prescribed me NAC. Like it was an actual prescription.
I love it.
Right? And over here, you
buy it over the counter.
Yeah, you have to, but you don't even know the quality of it.
Right. You don't know where it came from, or if it was made in China, what the ingredients are, how, you know. And the same thing, all of the tests. It's like there was false positives and false negatives. And then, you know,
couldn't trust anything.
You couldn't. And to find out, and those of us that did the research, we knew it was all bunk. And now everybody else is catching on, except there's a few liberals that are still not quite catching it.
They're on the fence.
But they're on the fence.
And they're on their 13th booster.
Oh, Lordy. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have the lighter side. And this is a dad with 3 sons at the airport. They give each other a challenge. You're not going to want to miss it.
There's never been a better time to rediscover the style, reliability, and all-season, all-terrain fun of the all-new Nissan lineup at the new and improved Ryan Nissan. Whether it's the sleek and stylish Murano, the adventure-ready Pathfinder, or the reimagined, ready-for-anything 2026 Rogue, the all-new Ryan Nissan has the vehicle of your dreams at a price perfect for any budget. It's time to rediscover your passion for the road. It's time to rediscover the all-new Ryan Nissan, engineered to endure.
Are you dealing with arthritis, nerve and back pain, dry skin, or superficial wounds, but found no relief? Give Stewart's Natural Health a try. For over 4 decades, Stewart's Natural Health has been helping people and animals with herbal and natural oil lotions, ointments, and creams with a mission to help you relieve pain and feel your best using the power of nature. Discover the safe, drug-free solution to your pain, guaranteed or your money back. Visit stewartsnatural.health today.
Welcome to where classy meets Wild West. Buffalo Gypsy Boutique of Bismarck has clothing, decor, and gifts ranging from sophisticated boho style to fun and flashy. Our exclusive brands such as Scully, Double D Ranch, and Tanner Mark provide standout style for the whole family, right down to the little ones. We always have a great selection of Kimes denim, and we proudly offer American-made jewelry and artwork. Find Buffalo Gypsy classing up North Bismarck just off Highway 83.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Welcome to Arrowhead Cleaners. Newly renovated, modernized, and ready to make your cleaning needs hassle-free. From commercial and residential wash and fold laundry services to the latest in professional dry cleaning techniques, we are dedicated to your unique needs, offering alterations, fabrications, and even custom hat making. So whether you're a busy professional, a family on the go, or even a rodeo champion, Arrowhead Cleaners is here to take your things from messed up to dressed up. Now celebrating our 64th year in Arrowhead Plaza.
Ashley, North Dakota is where life moves a little slower, but never gets dull. From hunting, camping, and fishing to safe streets where kids can be kids, this is the best of small town living. And Ashley offers everything you need, from healthcare to hardware to countless ways to stay active. Here, we've invested in our future with major upgrades to roads, parks, and education. Whether you're here for the day or here for life, you'll find Ashley's where you ought to be.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View. I'm Beck. Thank God I wore my masculine man deodorant today because that got me worked up.
I still can't believe how good it smells.
Well, and I don't even have to put it on again, even though Fauci got me worked up. Anyway, so you had a really good point when we were talking on the break regarding the health in Europe versus the health here, about the cost.
Yeah, so I ended up with bronchitis over there, and I went into the ER. They actually prescribed, so I had x-rays, everything. They prescribed vitamin C, vitamin D, NAC, and they were all prescriptions, and it was $198.
Right, but the point was, over in Europe, they pay for everyone's health care.
Yes.
And so they don't want people getting sick. We're over here. Being sick is big business for big pharma, for all the clinics. We used to complain about banks popping up on every corner. Yeah. There's a clinic on every corner now. And so that's the difference. They can't afford to have sick people in Europe.
Yep.
They want sick people in the United States. And there are, 200 different chemicals that are
2,000.
used? 2,000.
2,000.
That are banned over there that we use in our foods over here. Let that sink in. Anyway, whew.
Okay.
Gonna need some masculine man. Anyway, so this is funny. This is a father and his adult sons, and they're always playing pranks on each other. And this is a good one. Take a peek.
Those are so terrible.
I think it's great. An ugly pants exchange at the airport, and you just buy them and surprise someone.
It's great.
Well, I've seen it with shirts too. They do shirts, but remember when they used to dress up to go to the airport? This is like a different type of dressing up.
It certainly is.
I think it's funny though.
How much fun and what good conversation out of that as well. I just love it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I sure do too. I think it's a lot of fun, especially, they put a great twist on it. But getting back to your point, yes, you used to have to dress up to get on the plane. And even when Kenny and I went on our honeymoon, we got buddy passes. His brother's a pilot for United. And in order to get into first class, we could not wear jeans. No jeans allowed, no open-toed shoes, just has to be dressed up. And so I'm kind of in between there. You know what I'm saying?
That is crazy because that's not that long ago.
No.
And that was the stipulations. And now
because I was on a buddy pass, they called them back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they want people to look a little classier up in first class.
I don't
And it was like a 12-hour flight.
I don't ever remember seeing anybody in the airport that didn't look good. Like now people travel like it looks like they just woke up or they're hungover or they're puking. Like what you look like in the morning at 3 a.m. coming from Vegas.
Yes.
But like it was, you wore your heels, you had your skirt, you had your suit. Like you were always head to toe good.
Well, the same thing at banks. You go to banks, and they used to all be so dressed with a professional jacket on, and now it's like hoochie mamas at the front counter. I swear to gosh. I'm sorry. There are some people that just need to have a little bit of a dress code at a bank. I'm sorry. Not my bank, though. But anyway, I digress.
That's funny. But it's a different dress code nowadays.
It sure is. It sure is. All right. Well,
just to impress.
And you should. Everyone should. You should always look your best.
Yeah.
But I think we had a great show today.
Oh,
yes.
It was.
Our guests were great.
Perfect. I sure hope you enjoyed it as well. We want to thank you for joining us today and every day for that matter. And we will see you next time right here on Ladies of Another View on Beck. Now go save our country and get some masculine man deodorant.
Ashley, North Dakota is where life moves a little slower, but never gets dull. From hunting, camping, and fishing to safe streets where kids can be kids, this is the best of small town living. And Ashley offers everything you need, from healthcare to hardware to countless ways to stay active. Here, we've invested in our future with major upgrades to roads, parks, and education. Whether you're here for the day or here for life, you'll find Ashley's where you ought to be.
We are the St. Mary Sisters. We are building a new facility here in Bismarck, North Dakota, for the sake of training young women to be courageous teachers in this state. The Sisters will educate the younger generation to be fully alive through truth and discipline. The Sisters' life of devotion and joy will make a positive difference in your community. Check out what we're up to, see what's going on, and join our mission to make a difference in the lives of the children of North Dakota.
I'm Gary Ameneth, host of Open Range. We've been at this for the past couple years. Representative Matt Heilman of Bismarck and former legislator Brandon Pritchard are going to do some regular segments on Open Range. While we cover a lot of politics, we're still going to be continue doing mostly all things North Dakota. One exception, Friday evening, I'll be doing a new show on Open Range called On the Horn. This show will be long interviews of 3 to 5 hours with the people I'm interviewing. They'll be airing week after week on that Friday evening. So thank you for being a part of the Beck TV and Open Range family.
Come on in and experience small town hospitality and the personalized care that makes car buying a pleasure.
We know that every journey starts with the right car. Whether it's school drop-off, weekend road trips, or your daily commute, we have the right vehicle for you and your family.
With trusted brands, affordable prices, and a team that treats you like family, finding your next car has never been so easy.
We pride ourselves on personal attention and quality service. Facet Motors, where our customers send their friends.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I want to tell you, Lady Blue and I, we got a lot of miles together, but you know what? You and I got a lot of miles together as well. And all I want to do is bring to you the information on how we maintain a domestic supply of food and fuel for future generations. So I'm going to continue to travel the world and unearth the stories that make it possible that we can live in a free United States of America.
I'm Corey Heppola, and a long time ago, I left my small town for a big city. Now I wonder, what would it be like to move rural?
Just because we're small doesn't mean we can't have nice things.
This is my town.
Man, it's mad love up in here.
Sunday night, 6:30 on Beck TV.